This week's DRM Not Included on F5 Live is proudly powered by Amazon Prime. You know you get free shipping, but you get a whole lot more, including free music with Amazon Prime Music, free TV, movies, and documentaries with Amazon Prime Video, free video games, and a free Twitch subscription to help the Twitch subscriber of your choice with Amazon Prime Gaming, and a whole lot more. We've got quick links to these features and more, because sometimes they can be a challenge to find. We've got a free 30-day trial, the ability to give it as a gift, and more, all by going to f5live.tv/prime. So over the last couple of years, we have talked a number of times about some of the oddities happening with cord cutting. We mentioned cord cutting a little while ago with, bandwidth caps and things like that. But one of the things that's been a challenge has been local content. We've seen some services. We remember Aereo and their lawsuit that took them all the way to the Supreme Court, where they lost and the company shut down. Then following them, Locast thought that they had a great new approach to avoid getting attacked by the networks, and they were wrong, and they are currently shut down. But rather than trying to bob and weave and get around copyright law, Amazon, through their Amazon News on Fire TV, has gone directly to the source, which, of course, they've gone directly to the source and started making relationships. Their Amazon News local service launched last year with 12 markets. Obviously, with 12 markets, it was a pilot. It was a test to see if people cared, and apparently they did. Earlier this year, they added 76 more cities, I think, bringing it to 88. Then somewhere in the middle of the year, they added more cities. And now they're adding another 158, bringing the total to 259 cities across the United States. It is completely free if you have a Fire TV. The app is already installed. It's the Amazon News app. There is a local tab. It will locate you based on your IP address, whether that be real or pure VPN is not up to me. It will determine what your local area is and show you your local stations. If you've got more than one, you can choose which ones to include. I will tell you, you do not have more than one. There are very few cities that have more than one, and very few cities that have one that matters in any meaningful way. Scottsbluff, NE, New England? That's not a place.
Nebraska.
Yep, because it's both caps. Thank you. I see it. I even wrote the word Nebraska 3 words later. So thank you. They have their NBC affiliate available, but if you're here in Tampa, what you get is WMOR, which is, below the CW and below even the old UPN. It is the remains of what was the WB. All the things
but you're only
that the CW.
You're not getting their programming, right? You're just getting the news content, right?
Right, but if you look at like, what the WB is without any of the Warner Brothers stuff that went over to the CW, that's what WMOR is here. So it's not exciting. Their news is. It's like the leftovers from our NBC affiliate. It's real weird the way it works.
It's so. In other words, you're not the top talent.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's definitely the second tier. But this is still essentially a pilot program, right? So we've got one network from every city. Mostly. I think there were about 12 or 13 that had more than one. But you've got maybe one network with news available from every city. Obviously, that's still a pilot program. They're trying to get to scale so they can start having conversations with the other affiliates, is my guess. That's what I would do. I would try to get to scale as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're not available. That's always a good
Now,
selling point.
Who's making money off of this? Like, how are they, when they show the news, do they show the whole 11 o'clock news end to end? Do they show it in clips?
A fair
And
question.
is there advertising?
So our WMOR has a like .2 that is like an all the time news, I think. So maybe it's that. I don't know for sure. I don't have direct access to a Fire TV right now, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot and see what comes up. I've sent Michelle off to give it a shot and see what comes up because I know she has one at home to do some experimenting. I also want to experiment and throw Pure VPN behind it and see if we can get something from California to auto select for us. I've got some tests I want to do on this to see, how different the content is from city to city, right? Is it only maybe in Tampa, maybe it's only the 3 broadcasts a day that are news from WMOR, or is it the 24-hour .2? And if in LA, is it something else? You know what I mean? So I'm definitely interested in seeing how this works. I'm going to run some tests. I have no idea how it works, but the fact that they've got 259 U.S. cities signed up and Amazon is making it available to all of their Fire TV subscribers for free, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you're running one of those stations, it's distribution for you.
Right. It's more eyes that are completely countable, which was one of the biggest problems with both Lowcast and Aereo, is those views weren't countable. These are. They can use it to generate, ad dollars, and maybe there's a particular kickback, revenue share with Amazon on it. I don't know. But that would be a pretty solid business model for Amazon.
Yep.
So it's an interesting idea. It's definitely filling a need that we have proven time and again exists, right? Aereo and Lowcast proved that this was a need that needed to be filled.
But that's the interesting question. What's the need that those were filling?
Right.
Were those filling the need for local news, or were those filling the need for people to get free television, to get online access to
local sports?
Yeah, sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are people that excited about watching the local 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock news? I mean, granted, there isn't a lot of great local coverage out there. If you don't watch them, I mean, there's Patch and, you find a local newspaper. So, I mean, there's not, to be fair, there's less and less local news available to people as more and more local news outlets, local newspapers have gotten shut down or have been conglomerated to where the majority of the stories are national stories, and then there's a couple of local ones thrown in. So, I get that there's some desire for local news, but I don't think that's what people were signing up for with Aereo. I think they wanted to watch CBS, and you can get cable or you can get an antenna, but it's convenient to watch things online. So that's how I wanted it. That was a method for them to watch whatever shows they wanted to watch on CBS, NBC, Fox, ABC, or CW.
But maybe, and just like with AT&T, maybe this is the beginning of a wider test, something more interesting that they're working on, but starting with news. There's no telling. With Amazon, there's never any telling what they're planning or what they're up to. So this could expand way beyond news stuff. It'll be really interesting to see how this goes, because there are some notable markets missing New York from the list. So I found that fascinating. So obviously they're not done. There's no way they're going to consider themselves done if New York is missing from this list. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. We're going to do some tests to see, what content is available and how it varies from market to market, coming up here soon, because it is interesting, and obviously Amazon is dedicated to it. Otherwise, they would not be expanding to this many cities this quickly. There's no way that this isn't something they're currently dedicated to. So we'll see. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.